Good morning, it's Melissa, Mother Lover for Life, 100%, coming to you from my apartment doing the Sacred Path cards again today. I hope all of you are having a good morning, and this is how I'm going to get my morning started out, is with the Sacred Mountain spread from the Sacred Path cards. And thank you for tuning into my channel. I hope that you can find this morning focus helpful, and you can use it and apply it throughout your day. That's what I'm going to do to the best of my ability. Please like, subscribe, and share. Give me a thumbs up if you find this reading helpful and useful for you. Make some comments if you like, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. The Sacred Mountain spread is the place of inner knowing and proper perspective. The Sacred Mountain of our ancestors is not a physical place. It's a place of balance that exists within the sacred space of each individual. To reach this place of wisdom and enlightenment, balance with faith, trust, innocence, courage, you must climb the mountains and hills of your own limitations and conquer the fears that keep you from knowing. So if you hear power tools and men talking, they're working on my neighbor's garage. So sorry, it's just the way that it is. So if that bothers you, my apologies. When the challenges are many and the path is crooked, you may feel confused or temporarily lost. In such times, the Sacred Mountain spread is the tool that will aid you in seeing the truth from the perspective of Eagle. In Freedom and From Above, the overall significance is clearly put into perspective. This is what I call a working spread because you must climb to the top using your own courage and strength rather than being carried by someone else. If the going is getting tough and you're willing to confront the limitation that you have set in your own path, this is the spread to use. So I'm confronting the limitation that maybe I have put in my own path, so that way I can climb the mountain using my own strength and inner knowing and connection with Great Mystery and Great Spirit to help with the challenges that I have going on in my personal life, within my career, and my family life, the relationship with my son mainly. So the first four cards represent the areas of creativity open to you where you have set a limit or denial. The Sacred Mountain card is the reward at the end of the climb or the gift that you will attain by completing the journey. So even though things are difficult with that relationship in my life right now, and there is no communication. I went to drop my son's birthday card off yesterday and a gift certificate, so hopefully we could have went out to dinner, and he just completely shut himself in a room and, refuses to speak to me and, all this kind of stuff, and is having problems in school and behavioral issues, and, me and my family are doing the best that we can to try to support him, but he's 14 now, so he's trying to assert his own dominance or independence, and so if y'all could say some prayers for Gabriel, my son, I would sure appreciate that. We need all the help we can get these days. So I'm going to draw, this is the Sacred Mountain spread. So I'm meeting my challenges head on and confronting the limitations that I've set in my own path. I'm trying not to limit myself or create stagnation or self-sabotage to allow my blessings to come in. Sorry, the light keeps going weird. Trying not to set limitation in my path. That way I can see what's coming towards me clearly. So I'm grateful for that ability today to know that this is just temporary and he'll eventually hopefully get over whatever it is that's pissed him off. And the fact that he's not the one in charge right now, I think, is the main problem. So, and repressed emotional issues. But ultimately, I can't fix that either. I can just try to work on me and hope that that shines through onto him. And prayer works faster than anything. It works way faster than me trying to control the situation that's out of control. So I'm grateful that there's people in my life and helping my mother and myself and my son today. And, you know, I know that ultimately it's going to be all right. So we're going to draw 5 cards. This goes in a circular motion, and then the middle card is the 5th card, which is the lesson needed to find personal freedom. So, oops, shoot, knocking my rocks over. There we go. Okay, so 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the first card I drew is East Shield number 8, and it's illumination and clarity. And that is Eagle. So this appears in the East, and it signifies the lesson needed to remove any present limitation. This is the place of the golden door that leads to all other levels of awareness. No matter what card appears in this position, you're being asked to look at what you feel you cannot achieve in this card's lesson, hence your limitation is made clear. So, lesson needed to remove present limitation. Oh, excuse me. I have to know that I've been illuminated and I have clarity of what's really going on in this situation. And ultimately, it has nothing to do with what's going on inside of me. It has everything to do with what's going on inside of my son. And I don't have to take that personally or get offended by his behavior that's completely disrespectful. Because ultimately I just know that it's coming out as his pain is coming out, and sadness is coming out as anger, and the lack of control that he has in the situation is what's making him lash out, because I've done it in my past as well. And it's a behavior that he's learned. And it's something that I've had to unlearn and grow up emotionally at 40 something. So it's something that's attained over practicing different life knowing and training yourself, and I've been working on it for 20 years, so how can I expect a 14-year-old to grasp it? So that's what illumination and clarity has told me, that this doesn't have to stop my forward movement. This limitation, this relationship that isn't growing the way that I would like it to, it's going to take time in order for him to trust me again. And, maybe he doesn't want to get close to me because he's afraid that I'll go away or relapse. And I have to take that into consideration, and his feelings, while not allowing him to disrespect me and throw me back into past self-shame and abuse, and, looking down upon myself because of the judgment that he's heard from my family members, and maybe the judgment that I was mirroring unintentionally through hating on myself while I was relapsing, and not loving myself because of guilt and shame of relapse, and the guilt and shame tied into mental illness. So I have to realize that I'm no longer in that place that I was in, and I am here and now. And the only thing I can change is how I respond to that behavior. And I'm the adult, and I'm grateful to tell him that if he cannot respect me and speak to me in a respectful manner, that I'm not going to speak to him, because I'm just not going to tolerate it. Just because I've made mistakes doesn't give my child the right to berate me and bring up past things and throw it in my face. So I'm grateful for that knowing today, and to know that I have illumination clarity, and I don't have to punish him for having those feelings, and I can say, I understand that you're angry. I don't blame you for being angry and disappointed. However, you're not going to treat me that way. And then trying to show healthy behaviors as far as how to release that anger if he's willing to listen. And a lot of times kids don't listen to their parents, We all know that. So I have to realize that when I see through the eye of eagle, that I have illumination and clarity, and I can see things from a higher perspective and realize and sit and think, okay, when I was 14, what was my mentality, you know? And then I can see what my son may be going through and the helplessness that he might be feeling in the life situation that he's experiencing. And then it takes it out of me, and I don't take it so personal because I just know that he's growing too, just like me. So, Shield of the East, illuminate my path so I may fly with eagle to the home of grandfather's son's first light. The East Shield card represents a need for clarity in some part of your life. It may also mark a time of illumination when suddenly things begin to fit together and make sense to you. I feel that I'm there. They do make sense to me. If you have been confused, now is the time to ask for order in your life, and I have. Order can be restored through making lists of things to do, cleaning up your living space, or finishing old projects. When order is restored, you are then more receptive and can find the clarity that you need. The illumination of the East can also be asking you to assist another in finding clarity. Sharing your ideas may bring illumination as others give you feedback. It may also be a time to heal old wounds or negative thoughts so that there is room for clarity to enter your life. Be creative and daring in order to stretch your concept of who you really are and venture into new realms of understanding. In all cases, the East Shield marks a time of new freedoms that come from wiping the mud from your eyes and seeing with the eye of eagle. Observe which thoughts keep you in blinders and clear the blindness through summoning your courage and taking flight. So even though it does upset me that my son won't speak to me and that he's, having some behavioral issues and defiance towards trying to grow a relationship with me, I know ultimately that he loves me and I love him, and sometimes it just takes time, and I just have to be patient. So I'm grateful for that ability to see things from above what's really going on and not stay in the emotional triggers that want to tell me, oh, you're a shitty mother, oh, you really fucked up and he'll never forgive you. That's the mentality. Oh, I need to punish myself more because I failed him. Like, that's the crap that went through my head the last 5 years, and I punished myself by over drugging myself, denying myself my own needs. I was in so much emotional turmoil, punishing myself for failing him and relapsing, that I wasn't able to heal, and lived in my shame and blame. And I don't want that. I don't want that to be a limitation, because I was unable to see clearly what was going on inside of me, and I had to face the pain of grieving the relationship and the motherhood that I thought that I would have with my child that wasn't attainable at that time, and to know that I wasn't the right person for him at that time, and allow my higher power, or great mystery, great spirit, to take over, because I couldn't do anything at that point when I was in the midst of my relapse and struggling. So I'm grateful that Great Mystery and Great Spirit are taking care of him, and that I don't have to carry that burden on my back anymore and punish myself. So I'm grateful to have illumination and clarity today. It makes life a little bit easier, and the relationship a little bit easier to understand. It's okay that it's not going the greatest right now. The second card appears in the south and represents the lesson needed to restore your trust. So, expansion, storyteller. I have expansion through speaking my truth, telling my story, because it helps me stay in the reality of what's really going on, and not to get into the doubtfulness or the depressive part of the reality, because I could get sad about the things that are going on and be like, oh, nothing's ever going to change, and I've changed, they haven't, and I'll never be able to live up to, what their expectations are of me, and I'm never good enough. That's all the shit that was playing in my head. And I think we all go through that, and telling my story is helping me heal, and I'm hoping that it helps other people heal as well, because it's helping expand my mind and my heart, and come into empowering myself, healing my broken heart, because I was so brokenhearted last winter, last Christmas, when some things went on that I couldn't control. I just didn't know that if I would ever get up from this. So I need to restore the trust that I have in myself, in Great Mystery, in the fact that I am telling my story, and I do have expansion, and I have grown a lot in the last year, and I do have clarity and illumination. I've been trying to maintain sobriety for 20 years. It's not an easy thing to do with mental illness and disability. I don't care how perfect you are or think you are. It's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. So the second card appears in the South. It represents the lesson needed to restore trust. So I needed to keep telling my story and speaking my truth, and how I'm continuing to grow within myself, and handle the relationships that are going on in my life, in hopes that it can help somebody else, because it is helping me. And I am expanding. I'm expanding in many different ways. And the thing is, I'm trying to let go of the fact that I was betrayed by my family. I was lied to, tricked, and lied to, betrayed, and talked behind my back by my closest friends and family. And I could choose to hang on to that resentment, or forgive them and myself for not being perfect and being human. But that's a hard thing to do sometimes. But ultimately, the only way I'm going to heal is if I allow that hurt of being betrayed after I trusted to be removed from my sacred heart. If I don't allow myself to feel it, stay fucked up on drugs and alcohol, I am just repressing that pain that I don't want to face, because I am afraid. So the second card may reveal if you become a whining childlike victim instead of the courageous child that saw the world as an adventure. I've decided and made a decision that I'm going to be happy in my life regardless of the emotions of others. And sometimes when you're happy and other people aren't, it's really difficult for them to see you happy when they're struggling and miserable. So a lot of times it's just human nature to, I guess, give somebody shit when they're coming up out of the shit, because you feel like shit and they don't. And, I don't understand why human beings are like that, but I'm sure I've been like that in my life before. I just try to be more aware of it and empower myself and others. But I'm still not perfect. I'm working on it. I'm trying to restore my trust in myself, my trust in Great Mystery, my trust that I'm struggling to trust my family, because I just am. And that's the truth. So we're restoring trust bonds, because the trust has been broken. The lesson needed to find personal truths. So, thunder beings, I only have so much usable energy. Do I want to continue using my usable energy, this precious gift of energy, on fighting and quarreling with my family, spinning our wheels, getting nowhere while my child suffers, and we're all in emotional turmoil, just creating more of a mess, because everybody wants to control the situation, and nobody has control over this situation, let alone themselves, but everybody knows best. And it's like, can't we just come together and make decisions, based in love, not control? That's where I'm at. That is what the frustration is going on with me right now. And I know the more I try to control it, the messier it's going to get. So that's why I just turn that power over to Great Mystery and Great Spirit, and ask them to do for me what I cannot do in this relationship, because I no longer want to control it, but I want what's best for my child. And sometimes I don't know that the people that are caring for him know what's best. They mean well, but I don't feel that they know what's best. But how can I judge? I'm sitting in this chair, living in an efficiency apartment, living alone, trying to mother my son from the sidelines. You know, am I going to waste my precious energy sitting here worrying about it, or am I just going to pray about it and work on me? Well, that's what I'm doing. Praying about it, working on me, and trying not to make the situation worse. So that's my personal truth. So through usable energy, the West card may imply that there is a limitation that you have put on yourself regarding your ability to know what's right for you. I know what's right for me. Playing into the chaos and not working as a team with my family will only make it worse. And all of us are confused. All of us don't know how to deal with this situation. We're all suffering and having pain. Nobody knows how to handle it. And we all only have so much usable energy. And why waste that precious energy on fighting and not getting anything done? This mess didn't happen overnight, so it's not going to undo itself overnight. So I know what's right for me, because if it doesn't feel right for me, I'm not going to do it. I've had so much pain that I've learned. And what works for me doesn't always work for the other person. Until you know yourself and how to control your own usable energy and tame your inner beast. Other ways, I get a case of verbal diarrhea, and then I'm just talking shit and, making the situation worse, thinking I know something that it can only be handled by great mystery and great spirit. Thunder beings that give us the fire from the sky, energy for Mother Earth, divine creation flies through the air to touch us, electrifying change, bringing love's true essence into our hearts again. So the ability to know what's right for me. Thunder Being card is telling you that you are a catalyzer and may now command the usable energy at hand. You are being funded with the energy needed to complete any task you have in mind. If you have been trying without results and couldn't get enough steam going, this card signals relief. You can drop the frustration and get on with it. The energy is now yours. Call it to you and use it. Usable energy comes in many forms. See which kind of energy applies to your present situation and command it. Your body is a lightning rod and will conduct all the energy you need. Shout your intentions to the Sky Nation. The Thunder Beings remind you to replenish yourself equally to the amount of energy you expend. So I am no longer putting energy towards fighting to have that relationship, because ultimately, if my son does not want to have a relationship with me, that's his choice. And yes, it hurts me, but I can't control his feelings or his behavior. So I know what's right for me, and that is taking care of me, relying upon Great Mystery as my power force, and knowing that I have a strong purpose and right to be here, and those who want to be around me will. And I don't have to put energy into people that don't believe in me, that just want to see me fail, talk down to me, because I don't need that in my life right now. Even if that is my son. And as hard as that is to walk away from a life that you helped create, sometimes it's what you have to do in order to heal yourself and take time for you. So I used to feel selfish about it, and I don't today. I know that I can't truly heal anybody else or help anybody else if I'm not knowing what's right for me and what makes me feel good, what soothes me, how to be gentle on myself and not kick myself in the ass for not being the mother that I want to be right now, or the daughter or the granddaughter. I'm being who I can be, and that is just me. And if that's not good enough for everybody, then they can go get blessed. That's where I'm at. And that's my personal truth. And I'm not wasting my precious life energy on fighting myself or others. It just makes life hell. The fourth card is the North card, and it represents the lesson that you need to acknowledge. So you acknowledge your personal talents or gifts. So Ritual of Joy, Hour of Power. This is my hour of power to put energy in to myself, take my usable energy that I have in this morning and put that into me. I invest in myself in this morning so that I can start out my day in peace, joy, and love, have my hour of power that's just for me. I'm sharing it with you in hopes that this can help you, because if I don't get my morning started off in a positive way, I can get up in my head and get in a shitty mental thought process about, oh, woe is me, life sucks, my son hates me, and my family doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, and, I'm pissed off at them, and get all up in my head about resentment, and, that just doesn't help anybody, and it sure isn't a healing thought process for me to be in. So I have to take time for myself, invest in myself, have an hour of power, a ritual of joy, be kind to myself, know that this is the lesson that I need to have to acknowledge personal gifts and talents. I have lots of gifts and talents that are blessings from the spirit world, and this is my hour of power to draw upon the thunder beings, my usable energy that I have gained from the spirit world through out-of-body journeying, through internal journeying, and knowing what works for me and what doesn't. So if I don't acknowledge my gifts, talents, and abilities and material possessions, and I take them for granted, then I'm going to limit my future gifts from the field of plenty because I shun the beauty that I have right now, the beauty that's within myself, the beauty that's within others, the beautiful things that I have right now. I may just have an efficiency apartment, but it's a hell of a lot better than, no home at all. And I have heat and I have food and my basic needs are met right now. So whatever I create from this point, I create through my thought patterns, through what I'm doing with my love energy from my heart. Am I creating from my heart spaces through passion and a ritual of joy and love and a non-lack mentality? If I feel like I'm missing out on everything, then I'm in lack mentality, which means I don't have enough. I don't have the things I want. I don't have a car. I don't have a job. Boo hoo hoo. No, all that shit's going to come when it's supposed to come. And I have to want what I have right now. If I don't want what I have right now, then I'm shunning the beauty that I have within myself, and I'm not honoring myself or the things that I have manifested in my life through hard work. And maybe it doesn't look like much to people, but it's a lot to me. It means a lot to me. So I will gladly take my ritual of joy and my hour of power today to create and use my gifts and beautiful talents and abilities to continue growing beautiful things within myself and within my external world. And I'm grateful for that today because I love the beauty that I'm creating within myself and in my life, whether other people can acknowledge it or see it or not. I know what I'm doing, and I'm grateful.